Okay, the link for the class is here, and okay, there you go. Everyone in the chat, it's the link that you have for this evening's class, and I will make this evening's class available publicly continually. So if you click on that link or you share that link will bring you to the class. All right. If you're gonna click on that link at the same time while it's being broadcast, please make sure you mute it. Don't have it on because it will interrupt the class if you have it on. Just have it off. All right. All right. Oh, 1 second. All right. This evening I am going to jump into a, a session that I think is important. It's very important. A lot of you remember we were doing the mind for a while. We were dealing with the mind, and I still have one or two areas to conclude in the mind, but I want to open a new chapter this evening. I want to open a new chapter, and it is all about change, adapt, and evolve. You can write that note down. Change, adapt, and evolve. When I was looking at the dynamics of growth and reaching, I recognize that a lot of us as individuals struggle in between. We struggle. Not a lot of us, all of us, including myself. I am still at the place where I need my mentors. I'm still there. And it's very important that in the process of evolving, we continue to have counsel, have teaching, have instructors, have guides. I live in London, but I can assure you, I cannot get along around London without my GPS or without my map or without somebody who knows the way. Are you with me? If Reverend Bright, you who are in Nigeria have been there all your lives. But I can assure you there are areas that if you're going, you need a map. Or you need to go with somebody who knows the way. Are we there? You have to. It's important. Now, my wife and I were going through the notes that we prepared for this session this evening, and they're really, really important. How many of you have ever heard the statement, life begins at 40? How many of you heard that? Life begins at 40. I want to make a suggestion. I want to make a suggestion. That's not a joke or a cliche. That's a fact. That's not a joke or a cliche. That is an absolute fact. By the time you are the age of 40, I want you to grasp where I'm taking you because it's important. By the time you reach the age of 40, change is difficult to manage. Before I go any further, I want to give way to His Excellency Anthony Uwasia, Barrister Uwasia. I want to give way and in establishing protocol. Your Excellency Uwasia, please unmute yourself.
Good evening, Your Excellencies, and good evening, our mentor, Bishop Dr. Michael Steele. We have the privilege of having some members in our midst, and the first is in London, and her name is Valerie Atto, and she's a woman of God. We also have Pastor Emeka Ojukwu, is also equally in our midst, and I'm still expecting more to come. God bless you.
You're very welcome to the class of Steele. Let's give them our welcome. They will get accustomed. You're welcome to the class of Steele this evening. And to my London sister, you are more welcome because it means that we have family that are very close to us. We are actually based over in Lewisham and right out by New Cross. So you are very welcome into the class. We're looking forward to your continued fellowshipping with us. Thank you so very much, Your Excellency, Barrister Uwasia. Thank you, sir. So we recognize that by the time you reach 40, you have gotten to a stage where most people do not recognize it is hard to change. How many persons do we have in the class of Steele that are under 40? Anybody under 40? Aha, Flavia, Amy, Valerie. Yes, we have 3 persons, 3 ladies under 40. The beautiful thing that I will tell you is that you are at the right place at the right time, because this is the time of changing. I really want you to hear what we are going to share with you in this class. For you who are under 40, this is the most critical time in your life. I wish that when I was younger, I wish I had a mentor that taught me what I came to know. Because I can assure you, if I knew then what I know now, I would have acted totally differently. There are a lot of things that I would fight desperately to change, because after you reach 40, there's no more changing. It's called adapting. Are you hearing me? After you reach 40, it is called adapting. You don't change. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Your wives have been trying to get you to put your shoes together to put your shoes at the door together. Please put your shoes together at the door. Do not kick off your shoes and leave them around the place. I'm just using little statements for some of us men. When you take off your pants, please don't hang it on the chair. Hang it inside of the closet. But you find that when you've been doing something for so long, it is a frustration to remember to do otherwise. How many of you are with me? Come on, if you're with me, show me and tell me you're with me. Come on, I'm talking to all of us. The class of Steele is going to be a frustration for a lot of individuals who did not have time for developing themselves and mentoring. It's going to be a frustration. Why? Why would the class of Steele be a frustration for those who have not been in the place of being mentored. Because after you reach 40, your attention span changes. Your tolerance changes. Are you with me? How many of you, when you were younger, you tolerated fools easily? But after you reach 40, those less wise are sore to the eye and the ears, and you don't have the patience with them. How many of you get what I'm saying? So what is happening is the ability to change is difficult. A lot of you are finding it very, very, very difficult to adapt. Very difficult. And the reason is because adapting is based on constant reminders, constantly. You see, when we are under the age of 40, we're at the age of changes. Oh, you will hear your mother say to you, or your father, or your pastor, or your mentor, don't do this or don't do that. And you will look at it and you realize, oh, that's true. I don't really want to do this and do that. And you change. Easy. You change. The muscles to change are easy to manipulate. They're still malleable. But after you pass 40 years old, it's not easy. Adapting is not easy either. That's why we need mentors. Because mentors help us to adapt to the changes that are necessary for us to be successful. So you now are adapting. You're now padding up. When you go into a cricket match and you are now going in for the first time, when the ball hits you on your knuckles, you realize, oops, I need to put on some gloves. Are you with me? If you were playing cricket from your youth, you don't need gloves because you are skilled. Your fingers don't really get hit that easy because you're quick. Hey! Hey! You know what to do because you've been practicing, you've been playing, you've been working it. But as you get older, your reflexes change, your ability changes. So you now need to pad up. A lot of us are at the stage where we're putting plasters on sores of our lives. We're putting on plasters. A lot of us are now trying to fix our ministries. We realize that it's not working the way we want it to work. And now we are implementing things and trying to get things done quickly. How many of you know there are no quick fixes in life? How many of you know that? Come on, talk to me. There are no quick fixes. There are none. And that's the challenge of passing 40, because your brain tells you you don't have much time left. Pinos is looking at his children and thinking about grandchildren and the time to put things in place that he needs to have in place. He's fighting desperately to get it done in as short a space of time as possible. Reverend Bright and Jenny and all of us that have been working on things for years are realizing, oh my God, time is short. Am I talking to us? Time is short. Because we did not capitalize on the time of positioning. The first 40 years of our lives are supposed to be positioning years. The first 40 years, positioning ourselves for success, positioning ourselves for longevity, for sustainability. So now we are found at the age of adapting, trying to position. You cannot position when you're panicking. Are you hearing me? It is not easy to position while you are panicking. I play a game with my nephew and my son. You see, I'm trying to be continually relevant. I cannot allow my son to be growing up in the age of video games and technology, and I cannot sit down and have fun with my son. You see, back in the days, fun with children was going to the park and going for walks and doing these things. Are you with me? But Valerie, you know that in the UK, you can't go to the park right now. Come on, Valerie. Valerie, you know that we are locked down inside of our houses, and the only thing we could do is go on the computer or play video games or sit down and get frustrated and pull out our hair. Minister Ewers knows what I'm talking about. We are on lockdown and shut down. And as a matter of fact, our Prime Minister have informed us that we're not coming out of lockdown not until summer. Come on now. It's getting worse. So I have to play video games. And I have to do those things that are going to cause us as family and young people to stay together. Are you with me? It's called positioning ourselves to be relevant in this time. Because change is important. But watch this. All my life, I have been experiencing change. I've been changing. I changed the country I lived in. I changed the house where I stayed in. I change. How many of you, I want to ask a question. How many of you have lived in the same house for over 20 years? How many of you? Just raise your hand. If you've been in the same house for over 20 years. Anybody? Anybody been in the same place for over 20 years? Oh, well done. Well done. Lots of changes. Anybody's been in the same house 15 years? Ah, Phineas, you, 15 years. Victoria, you, 15 years. Anybody in the same place for 10 years? Same place, 10 years? Oh, good. Anybody for 5 years? Same place, 5 years? Okay. Watch this. All of you are candidates for success. What does that mean? It means that your environment have not gotten to the place where it is hard for you to change or move. Some persons have gotten into environments, for example, they live in a city for a long time, and to move from that city to another environment is very, very difficult. I want to give way, please, if you would allow me to identify my chief. Please allow me to welcome Chief Big Up of Healing Waters. Chief Big Up, you are welcome. I just want to give way and acknowledge you, my chief. You are welcome to the class of Steele.
I am honored. I am honored. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Yes, peace and love to all. And I'm loving the knowledge, Dr. Steele. You are amazing. Thank you. And I yield.
You're welcome, sir. We'll chat after. God bless you. That's my original Indian chief. He is a chief, and he's a part of the class of Steele family. And him and I are going to be doing some amazing things in Africa with a number of other chiefs as well, who will be visiting us in a class of Steele. So when you see the decorated brethren, I trust that you will become aware that Indian chiefs and individuals at this level, they are still here and very real. So I welcome you, my chief. One. So we see that when you are in a position that you have moved a couple of times, change is not difficult to embrace. And because before I was 40 years old, all my life was changing. Change means nothing to me. It really doesn't. If tomorrow I had a call for me to be in China, for me to relocate to China tomorrow once all is in order is nothing. There are individuals who are so pinned to where they are that change is very difficult. But you have to be in this era, be open to change. Now, we discussed change, but now let's look at adapting. Because once you have the foundation of the ability to embrace change, adopt change, work with change, it makes it easy for you to adapt. Are you with me? It is easy to adapt once your mind is able to embrace change. It's easy to adapt. You will not adapt very easily if you cannot embrace change. You will not adapt. You'll be very uncomfortable because your ability to adapt is commensurate to your ability to embrace change. Am I making sense what I'm saying? Now, what's going to happen when Chief and I bring 10 chiefs that are going to come into the class of Steele? You're going to see individuals attired like the chief. And it can be very distracting if you're not accustomed. It'll be distracting. A lot of you will start to ask questions in your mind. Hey, what is this? I'm a Christian. I'm a man of God. What is this man with all of these feathers coming out of his head? Hey, I'm talking to us because I want us to understand what it is like when we get into an environment that is demanding on us to change. Her Excellency Victoria rightly described when she had to start taking up the tablet and the mobile phone and get a new mobile phone and a new tablet. It's change. You have to now learn how to use Zoom, learn how to use your camera, learn how to get the proper lighting in place so that your camera is showing you properly so you can have a professional meeting. Are you with me? Come on now, it's change. And it was difficult. It was difficult. Your Excellency, Reverend Bright, come on. golden eagle. Oh, by the way, big up. We have a golden eagle in the class. He's in the person of His Excellency Samuel Bright. Also, he's our friend, our guide, and our supporter, and we call him the golden eagle. Golden Eagle, tell us. Just give us a little bit of a history about where we started, how impossible it was to get our cameras and our pictures. Come on, Golden Eagle, tell us. Give us a little background of how long it took us to get here to change.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Bishop Dr. Marcus Steele. Thank you for the class of Steele. Thank you for all members of the class of Steele. I think we are just a product of change. The class of Steele is a product of change. I think in life, the most constant thing is change. Change is inevitable in life. We began small, very small. At that time, there was lockdown, and we were all indoors. All over the world, we're indoors. In Nigeria, we're indoors. So we began, it was like joke. It was like joke. They said the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. So we began with a step. We had challenges with network. We had challenges with connecting one another. We have challenges with lightning. We have challenges with using the buttons down and the chatting, to know who and who is in the class participant. We have challenges. We have so many challenges, and but today, most of us that began like about a year ago, today we are expert we are gurus. We are now authority in Zoom. I think the last time I had Zoom with some officials somewhere in Nigeria, I was educating them what to do when they get into Zoom, because I am an authority now, but I was not an authority at that time. We began small. I remember we had a class where His Excellency Tony Wechia and a few of us were coaching ourselves what to do and what not to do to access Zoom and then make it effective. And then today, I tell you, we are thinking of, I think in the class of Steele now, we should be thinking of coming out with a version of Zoom, because we have authority now. Thank you so much. We are getting better. God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Come on, let's celebrate in the class of Steele way. This is the way we do it, Chief. So that persons know you are there, you know, and here is the thing. Here is the thing. You adapt. We know that you cannot turn on the mics and have everybody talking at the same time, because it causes confusion and conflict. We know we cannot sing all the same song together because it causes conflict. So we had to learn. We had to adapt. Chief, we're going to put a program for all the chiefs that we're going to teach them the Zoom, and we're going to show them what to do and how to do it. And you know we got work to do in Africa. But the thing is persons, when they reach a certain age, they become comfortable with what they have. And they're not willing to advance. They're not willing to get better. They're not willing to learn new things. And as a result of that, we miss the opportunities to impact the next generation. Things die. I thank God for Chief. And Chief, I'm going to pick on you a little bit. You come into my class, you know I'm going to pick on you, Chief. But I thank God for the Chief, because there's some things that you've been watching in movies and hearing about nature and hearing about animals and hearing about water and different things like that. And there's a culture of people who those things are very real to them. And those are the technologies that we are bringing into Africa for individuals to be aware that the soil still has everything that it had way back then. The secrets and the wisdom of the elders is still wrapped up in the chiefs. It's still there. It's been handed down. So there's so many things that we are going to open doors to, but you have to be in a place to embrace change. I want to give way a second time in this class to His Excellency Anthony Wisher. Please go ahead, Your Excellency.
Thank you so much once again. And we have the Reverend Ike Nakire. Reverend Ike Nakire is the assistant or vice chairman of Khan Plateau State Christian Association of Nigeria. He's the vice president, vice chairman. Then we also have a son in the house, Prophet Simeon Oludokun. Prophet Simeon Dutton, yes, both of them are in the house, and we're expecting more people. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Your Excellency. You are very welcome. Please, I hope you are going to greet Reverend Sampson for me. I am aware of Reverend Sampson, and I hope you greet him for me. Please, Nakir, forgive me for my pronunciation. You are very welcome. Please greet the class this evening. Ike, you are welcome, sir. Please greet us. Please click your unmute. Unmute. Click unmute.
Hello,
Well
good
done.
evening.
Good evening, sir.
The Lord bless you, sir. Thank you for having me around. And thank you, His Excellency, Dr. Weche, and everybody. The Lord bless you for having me around. And this is a great class. Thank you, Dr. Michael Steele. The Lord bless you and everyone. And our brother, Pastor Reverend Dr. also, and everyone that are in the class. I may not know all of you, but thank you for having me around.
You're very welcome. The Lord bless you. And I mentioned Samson, who is the head of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Abuja. Is that correct?
Samson, I don't know about that. I don't know that. I don't know the head of Christian Association of Nigeria in Abuja. Maybe if I see him, I would know. But I'm in Plateau State. Probably when I see him, I may know if it's the person. It's possible.
My name calling is not very good because of your name. Please say your name for me.
Nakire, Reverend Ike Nakire. Nakire.
Nakire.
Yes, very good. Very good. Absolutely.
Reverend Nakire.
Yes,
Reverend
sir.
Nakire, welcome in. Come on, the class is Reverend Nakire.
Thank you. Thank you.
The Lord bless you. You are welcome. You're welcome. So we are changing. As we add different individuals, different persons to the class, it's going to change. Your ability to adapt is going to be important. But here is something else about adapting. Here's something else about adapting. How many of you know that in order to go forward, you have to know where you want to end up? And what has happened a lot of times is that we just live by default from day to day. We just live by default. You get up, you survive, you do the necessary daily things, you just survive. There is no long-term projected plan. You hope to live. How many of you have individuals that you hope to live to reach 50? And then you reach 50, you thank God, hallelujah, I made it to 50. Then you hope to meet 55. And you're just looking at those who have died and passed on, and you're hoping, I hope I make to C65. When you become like Minister Ewers, you start to look at what succession plan am I putting in place? What am I going to leave behind? When you get like Her Excellency Jenny Trinahan out of Barbados, give me a wave, Jenny. Give us a wave. When you get to be like Her Excellency Jenny, you look back at your legacy and you say, oh my God. You sit back and you look at all of your sons and your daughters and your grandsons around the world, and you think to yourself, have I done enough? Jenny, you have done more than enough. But you still think of how much more can I do? And the reason is because you want to leave a legacy. I want to say this with no apologies. I'm a bishop and a Christian minister. But the class of Steele is not a Christian building organization. Please be aware. We are here to build the kingdom of God on the earth. And that is made up of individuals from all backgrounds. I am not here to teach ministers how to get to heaven. You know that. We're not here to mentor you for heaven. You should know that by now. We're here to create an environment to mentor you to working with each other. Honoring your neighbor as yourself. The greatest commandment is love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy might, with all thy soul, and love thy neighbor as thyself. Chief is my neighbor. Chief Big Up is my neighbor, and I love him. And if anything happens to Chief's children, I am one of the persons who is going to want to solve the problem. Why? Because Chief is my neighbor. Chief does not have to serve God the way I serve him, worship God the way I worship him. That is Chief's business. Chief is going to watch my back if I'm going through the jungle and protect me. I don't have to serve the same spirits or feel the same way about what Chief feels about. All I know is that Chief and I are one on the earth, and we are looking out for each other. Are you with me? Come on, somebody. I am not promoting nothing that is going to create no holy war. I am not building no Illuminati. I am here to create an environment for us as a people to learn to adapt, to change, to adapt to cultures. Because at the end of everything, God put us down here to be fruitful and multiply, to replenish the earth. Chief knows some things that I need to know to cause me to be a better Christian. I know some things that Chief needs to know to cause him to be a better chief. And when the two of us sit down and chat together, Chief might celebrate the God I serve and the wisdom that is in me. And I will celebrate the wisdom that is in Chief. Are you hearing me? Because in life, we are called to work together. A lot of people want to be ambassadors of Christ, but you don't want to work with your neighbor. A lot of people want to empower government. I see change in government, but you don't want to sit with those who are different than you. Then how is it going to happen? Are you hearing me? A lot of you are going to have Christian brothers and sisters that are going to tell you you are joining a cult. I want to tell you, you are joining a cult. Please don't be bamboozled. I am initiating you in a cult, a culture, a community, a family. That's what a cult is. The church is one of the biggest cults there is. It's a culture. It's a community. It's a family. It's how we live. It's how we treat each other. That's what you call a cult. A culture. It's just a shortened version of the word culture. Don't allow individuals to bring other organizations that are different than us and call them cults without recognizing that we ourselves are a cult. If I have witnesses, please give me a wave. If you get what I just said, please give me a wave. Please, I'm begging you. I beg, oh, I beg. So there are persons that are talking about cults and they do not understand your family is a cult. Because you have secrets in your family you do not share with anybody else. So it's a cult. It's a culture. It's how you behave. The Indian tribe is a cult. It's a culture. They have practices, their dances, their rituals, their forms. It's their cult. It's their culture. Are you with me? So please stop using the word cults when you do not understand what you are saying. Please don't use it. Don't use it with intelligent individuals like myself and the ambassadors that are here. You're making yourself look unwise when you use the word cult. The word cult simply means culture. You have the music culture. You have the pop culture. The Satanist church is a cult. It's a culture. The Illuminati are the illuminated ones. It's a cult, culture. The company you work for, the procedures that they put in place and the way they do their business, it's a cult, culture. So you are being initiated in the class of Steele. It's another cult. So if they say that you are a part of a cult, yes, and I am the head of the cult. So tell them, call me so that I will initiate them if they want to be initiated in the cult. Come on, somebody. Give me a wave if I'm making sense in the class of Steele. Come on, give me a wave. So when you come into the class of Steele, you're going to bring some ministers. And when they see 15 and 20 Indian chiefs with their headwear, and they see 2 or 3 Muslims, and they see 5 or 6 other persons from different organizations, and they see a few persons that are Freemasons, and they see their Freemason lodges or their rings, and they say, hey, the blood of Jesus, behave yourself. What blood of Jesus are you talking about? Behave yourself. Either sit and lend your voice to those Indian chiefs who are going to be putting water inside of the villages in Africa, who are setting up food banks in Africa, who are negotiating and discussing with governments how they can build schools and universities. This is why we come together. These are the people that I'm bringing together. So if you have a religious mindset, this cult is not for you. So please do not tell anyone the class of Steele is a Christian organization. It is not. It is not a Christian organization. It is an organization run by a Christian, a bishop, a man of God who respects Christianity, who honors men and women of God, who will never convert to Islam or who will never convert to tribalism amongst the chiefs. Never. Who does not expect the chief to try to convert me. The chief would be crazy to have a conversation of converting me. Equally, he might think I would be crazy to try to have a conversation to convert him. He's not looking to be converted. He knows who he is and where he's going, and he's settled. I know who I am, where I'm going, and I'm settled. Are you with me? Oh, a lot of people turning off their cameras. If you don't want to be seen, don't just turn off your cameras. Leave the class. I'm telling you, don't just turn off your cameras. Leave the class. Because if you do not want to be identified in this circle, then leave. Because I'm not playing. I'm not bringing people of goodwill and good intentions who want to build up the nations and help the poor and downtrodden to sit in my class of Steele, our class of Steele, and have them intimidated or infuriated by religious-minded individuals. I will not have it. And I will not allow you to come into the class of Steele and have any conversation with me about any person if they are Satanists, if they worship the devil, God, or Buddha. Don't discuss it with me. If you were not comfortable as a Christian and sold out as a Christian, then you will have problems. The first 40 years of your life should be converting you so that you are persuaded who you are. I don't care if the chief likes me or not for saying he cannot convert me, because the chief will not offend me if he says to me he's not being converted to my Christianity. I am bigger than that. We are building the kingdom of God on the earth. We are trying to create an environment where schools, universities, food will be available for those that are on the earth. If I cut Chief, Chief is going to bleed the same color as me. If Chief see me crying, Chief is going to feel my pain, because we're human. One, we're family. And that's what I want us to be in a position to appreciate. We want peace, but we want Christians to come together and make peace. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We have to come together as one. Oh, this is the movement like the one world government, one world order. There is no such thing as a one world order. There is only one world made up of all of us. You are a bishop and I'm a bishop. When I communicate with you, I communicate at a bishop's level. When chief comes, we communicate at a humane level, because we are not speaking the same religious or spiritual language. But all of us are important. And that's why the class of Steele is a registered business. It's not a charity. I'm not asking you for donations. It's a business with business people who work, invest. That's what we do. And I'm going to close with this one, evolve. What does evolve mean? First we change, then we are adapting, but then we evolve. What does it mean? It means that on our tombstone will be written, this is who he was. Here lies Bishop Steele, a man for all nations. Here lies Dr. Michael Steele, a lover of men. What is your final destination? Do you know? Do you want to die knowing that you were in a cocoon and you impacted a small part of God's great creation? The Christian community is a beautiful community. Chief, I love being a chief. I tell you, Chief, I would not change my Christianity for nothing on the earth. Chief, if they hold me and they say to me, you have to denounce Christ or I will take your head. Chief, I am going to tell you on this broadcast, I'm sorry, my wife already knows. Chief, they have to take my head. But Chief, I know that if anybody ever looks at me and say that to me, you are the first person that will say they will have to take your head if they are going to take my head too. Am I correct, Chief? Come on, Chief. I want your own voice now, Chief. You're my brother, Chief. I want your voice. Say, let them hear your voice.
This is the key, and this is our culture. We represent. This is why, if you notice, this is the color of our skin. This represents the protection of our brothers. This is my totem of what I was born under, the beaver. This is called a beaver club. It helps to protect my brothers. It helps to protect my sisters, the lineage of what we have to focus on in life today. Everyone eats food, all of us. And for the focus of my knowledge, that's my mission, to be able to bring food to everyone. No one is left out. We all need to sit and get a plate together. I can't leave the top excellency bringing us together to get this knowledge. I could never leave him out. Christian, all of that's our personal heart, our love, our blood that we carry in our own personal energies. Muslims, same thing. I'm a man of nature, Mother Nature. I want to feed everybody. I want to make sure you get the healthiest medicines from the plants. I want to make sure that you can identify them so that way all your Christian brothers and sisters can live and continue to pray and preach their word and feel that great spirit, because that's what it's about. It's about you getting it in your spirit and practicing what you know and what you have learned. It's not about trying to be negative. We have to learn to change. If you just go to stores all your life, then I say, you know what? You coming home cooking, I say, save those seeds from that pepper. Let me take you outside and let me show you how I can put these in the dirt for you. You can have more food. That's my religion. So now I'm helping you eat more. I'm not charging you money. I'm not coming in your pocket and trying to say, all right, I taught you how to do this. That's a percentage of mine. No, we ain't on that. None of that. We are here so we all can grow together. One people, for the people, by the people.
Chief, I love you, man. Come on, give the Chief some love from the class of Steele. Come on, give him some love. Come on. That's my brother. It's my brother now. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are. I'm gently. If you know why God took the people of Israel through the wilderness and it took so long? Because if God had to show us some times where he's taking us, could you imagine if the class is Steele and I brought 10 chiefs and the class is Steele the first day amongst Christians, what would happen? Good grief. Come on, Your Excellency. Your Excellency Samuel Oso, Golden Eagle, you know what would happen. Folks would say I'm crazy. They would say, what, are you mad? Your Excellency Barrister, you wait, your folks would think I'm mad. But today, look at what the Lord is doing. The Lord is showing us we can work together. He's showing us we don't have to stop being ourselves to be loving others. The Good Samaritan did change to becoming a Samaritan because he was passing through Samaria. You don't have to become a Pharisee because you're passing through the land. You don't have to be a Sadducee because you're passing through the land. You can be who you are. If you're not comfortable with who you are, you will never evolve. You would just die confused. There are a lot of people that died and they don't know who they are. They don't know why they came here. They're just preparing to die. God didn't send me here to die. He sent me here to live, to conquer, to subdue, and to prepare a place. That's why he sent me here. I'm going to come home when he calls me home. And he's going to look at me and says, well done, good and faithful servant. And it's going to be because of those that were in prison, I visited them. Those that were hungry, I fed them. He's not going to ask me, were they Christians? He's not going to ask me, did you win more souls? No, he's not going to ask me those things. Come on, somebody. I need us to grasp what I'm talking here. He's going to ask me, did you help your neighbor? Did you heal the sick? Chief is a healer. The medicine and the herbs that Chief knows about, when I take those to my people that are sick and I give it to them, they become healed. When I pray for them and I tell them, because I was a good man of God, a chief, and I became good friends, and this is a secret the chief shared with me. What is the secret? How to get rid of your kidney problems. Hey, why am I going to lay hands on somebody and pray when I could teach them what to eat and stop them from getting the problem? Am I talking to the class of Steele? Come on now. Am I talking to us? So if this is what you embrace, you're the right place. I want to love all you guys for being here and appreciate you. And Chief, you turned on some fire by just showing up with this big head attire. I need one of those. I feel if I had one of those, Chief, a lot of people would want to know what's happening to me. Am I losing my head? Or I think, Chief, send me mine, Chief. I'm going to send my address. Just send me mine. Put it in a box and send it to me. Because I want us to understand God expects us to take dominion. Come on, somebody. We got to take dominion. We got to be the one to be pioneering what's happening, sending the message, strengthening, bringing together. If we say that our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is the Prince of Peace, how come he's the Prince of Peace, but we are having problems bringing peace together? But he's the Prince of Peace. But we are having problems working with others who are not like us, who are desperately trying to bring peace themselves. My wife is going to share the link for the men's conference on Saturday. All of the men, our conference is on Saturday, and the link is going out. And I've not done a lot of advertising. I said to my wife, I want to put out a test. Can we do this by ourselves? So I'm dealing it amongst my community. And I would like you to deal with it amongst your community when you get the link. Just set it out. It's free. There's no charge. And it's only for men, no females. 8 a.m. until, 8:30 until 4 p.m. on Saturday, London time. 8:30 till 4 p.m. on Saturday, London time. We have some amazing speakers. So come out, it's free, there's no charge. And hear what the Lord will share with you. The women had a great time, and now it's the men's turn. Jenny is excited. And now it's the men's turn. So we'll see what the Lord will do. If there are any questions, I am open to questions. Any questions from anyone? I will take your questions. I think I want to open for questions. I think I want to hear a question from you or a comment, because this is your first time and I'm going to pick on you. Barrister brought you, I'll pick on you. Your Bishop, kindly open your mic, please, and lend your voice to the discussion. I'm throwing you off the deep end, sir. Please unmute.
Well, thank God that I'm here today. And I've really learned a great deal as well. Truly, we are evolving. Truly, we're evolving. And I want to believe that the kingdom of God is all about living that which God says we should. We're going to heaven. We must be heaven citizen here. We have to bring the heaven here first. So I'm very blessed that I'm here, and I want us to believe that it is God's will. Thank you, Dr. Michael, Steele, and God do bless you. I would ask questions in due season. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I will be available to answer your questions, because I believe that we must always be willing to give an answer for the hope that is in us. No man walks around and just speaks on his own authority, but we must be willing to give an answer to those that are asking. Jenny, I see your hand up, Your Excellency. Please go ahead. Unmute.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Bishop Dr. Michael Steele. I thank you for an excellent teaching. I wanted to actually ask the chief, big up Healing Water. I want to welcome him into our family, our culture, and I wanted to ask him. Our organization is working on a dried food, an agricultural sustainable project, a dried food project moringa based, and I would be very happy to if he would be able to share some of his knowledge with our organization, to be able to put together this dried food packages for the children of Africa and Haiti and throughout the Caribbean where there are disasters. And so if I would be happy, His Excellency, Dr. Michael, if you would share my email connections with him, if that is appropriate.
It is very appropriate, and publicly we will declare that Chief and I are working on a number of projects, especially with fish and different things like that. And I will establish a meeting with all those who are interested in sustainable development, farming. If you have anything pertaining to farming, Chief and myself will be pleased. And as a matter of fact, not just Chief and myself, but I think there are a few hundred chiefs that are that are in our arsenal. Chief, please, I will allow you to speak for yourself.
Oh, yes. Thank you. And gratitude to your spirit, Jenny. I appreciate you. And it's great that all of us are in that same energy of wanting to feed people and give people life. That's beautiful. And I'm honored to even hear those words come from your voice. We have an ancient culture of chanampas we use. And what we do is, in the aspect of, like you said, moringa based, a lot of different plants that actually produce its own seed, its own life. What we do is we take systems where we have fish, just as Dr. Steele was speaking of, and we use a natural method to take the nutrients from that container and raise fresh, raw vegetables from that same system. Where now you don't have to have dry moringa. You can have the moringa vine, the moringa leaf, the moringa seed. Have all the principles if you want to make expeller oil of moringa. Now you can grow and be bigger and have a better shelf life of more than just one item. And then you add many plants to that. Now you have many items. Now this can add more to our people. So now it's fresh, it's better for you, it's instant, it's way more healthy. And then now we all can be able to put this, not just in Africa, but everywhere there's hunger and poverty. So we got our work to do together, and I am honored.
Chief, I will make your contacts available to Jenny. Yes. And Pinos is with us as well. We've got some work that is happening in the DRC. And I also want to identify for your acknowledgement, Chief, also Doreen. Doreen is one of my adopted daughters. Doreen, you can just wave. Doreen, where are you? Okay, she's in the green. That's Doreen. She is also responsible for a lot that is happening in DRC as well. So we will connect. We will connect each other. But the purpose of the class is to connect individuals. What are you doing and what's happening so that you can be connected? So I thank you so very much for being in class, Chief, with me this evening. It's such an honor. I sincerely do honor you. One. Thank you so very much, everyone. Any other questions or comments? Any? Okay. To all of our guests who are here with us this evening, I want to appreciate you. Thank you so very much for joining us in the class of Steele. The information, this link is available, so you can share this class of Steele link with whoever. I've shared it, and I will also put it back in the chat again, just so that everybody will have access to it. It's a YouTube link, and it's a live video, so it will be available publicly. This video particular is public, so Chief, you could share this with our brothers so that they could know where we're going, what we're doing, and they'll see what the class of Steele is all about. And also, Ike, your bishop, you can share this, and you could also review it if necessary. And at any time, Bishop, any of you who are new, you are free to engage me. Barrister, Your Excellency, if they need to engage me, I am available to them. You can just set up a WhatsApp with yourself and those individuals that you would like me to speak with directly, and I will do so. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to appreciate you, Amy. It's lovely to see you. And Amy, you and I need to have a conversation. We have to have a conversation pertaining to following up on DRC, what we discussed, yes? And I will, as a matter of fact, I will call you right after class. I'll call you immediately after class, Amy. So expect my call right after. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you, appreciate you. Thank you for being in the class of Steele. Let's continue to rise and build together. I remember, as soon as they hear of me, come on, somebody, as soon as they hear of me, they shall obey me. The strangers shall submit themselves unto me. Why? Because I have the answer for the nations. I have the solution to their problems. And I am the reason why their problems have not been solved as yet. God bless you and have a wonderful evening. I love you. Peace. One.